We are here at Copa, Virginia, looking at the quarterfinals of our Advanced Absolute Cash Prize Division. We have Carter Brownrigg, and we have Yuta Shimada. Yuta Shimada in the green trunks, and Carter in the DMV rash guard there with the anklet. Carter immediately gets over Yuta there, trying to play head over head. In the Absolute Division, Carter's definitely the larger of the two guys, but we have seen Yuta put on some very, very impressive performances early today.
And he tries again for the throw.
Yeah, that drop Sayonara, we've seen him hit it 3 times today already in these matches, but Carter's able to stand up out of it. First guy that we've seen in this entire tournament able to do so.
Yuta then went to butterfly guard. Now he's went to a half guard. Looks like he's trying to control the hands of Carter. Maybe to invert under, only because he's keeping his head further down. He's not trying to get up on the shoulder and wrestle up from this position.
Yeah, he looks like he's content to go kind of chest down here, so I'm curious to see what he's going, but Carter has a really, really nice crossface and may actually be able to slide his leg out of this position here. Carter continues to go for kind of variations of the Darce and Anaconda and Guillotine here from the half guard. Again, being in the absolute, Carter's going to use that size to his advantage and try to get over Yamada in a way that a lot of guys in the weight class are just really unable to.
And Yamada was putting both of his hands on the far arm to try to control that arm, probably to feed it in for a sweep.
We have Yamada with the outside butterfly guard hook. Potentially going to see Yamada invert for the arm or the leg here.
It seems like he's going after the arm. He keeps on controlling the arm and throws the knee over for almost like a judo arm lock from that position.
Yeah, that got the katame. It looks like what looks to be kind of what he's looking for. Again, in the absolutes here, Carter's definitely the larger guy, but Yuta is probably the quicker guy. And, you know, and historically, Yuta has been very, very quick for the weight class. So
I thought for a second Yuta was going after a mirror lock.
Yeah, he was for a second. I think he was looking to have Carter pull back, sits immediately into a sweep, and then starting to get guard passing going. He does get the points for the sweep, then back on the single leg again. Going to come up. Carter tries to kind of fold over into a Darce, and then again gets taken down. Yuta will most likely get an advantage for that, even though his head was still in the choke in the Copa Virginia rules that mirror the IBJJF rules.
And they're starting back from standing.
And we're getting an advantage for both, one for the submission off the mat attempt and one for the takedown off the mat attempt.
And I think what Yuta's been doing before is trying to get an overhook on one of the arms. And with that overhook, then he throws that judo throw.
Yeah, the drop Sayonara there. But Yuta's been doing it from his knees a lot today. Yuta sits immediately into the butterfly. He has double underhooks here.
Which is a really good position for Yuta. He can now control him a little bit, and I wonder if he's going to go after that arm again. Maybe that's why we keep on seeing him put his head to the mat, that he's going to try to isolate the arm and then throw the knee over for the arm lock.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna sell hard for that Kimura. Carter's doing a really good job of diving it into his body, but it's a difficult position to get out, and especially because Carter's folded over him. You know, that arm is exposed. Yuta is up 2-0 with 3:40 left in the match. So, again, still a very, very close match.
And it looks like Carter is now trying to address the Kimura and to address the subs that are coming after him rather than passing at this point.
Yeah, he seems more content to sit in the guard than he was kind of earlier in the match and get his posture up and not sort of just pressure and push through Yamada without kind of considering the sub attempts.
We have 3 minutes left in the match, and it is a close match. We have Yuta with 2 and Carter with 0. Yuta keeps on going after that far arm. If for a Kimura, if for an arm lock or a sweep.
It really just, as a person up on points, he's staying active from the guard.
True.
You want to make sure you're not going to get stalled out or called for stalling on the bottom. And he does. He comes out the back, gets up with a
sweep and passes the guard.
He's only going to get 2 for the sweep there because there wasn't a guard established by Carter. But Really, really great sequence to put Yamada up 4-0 with 2:45 left in this match.
And Yuta's starting from side control. He keeps his knee towards his hip, so he can't really turn into him very much or turn away. Has a cross face, and then he's trying to take the far arm and control the arm furthest away from him. But it also looks like he's going to go across the guard. Tried for mount, it wasn't successful. And now both men are back up on their feet.
Yeah, Carter did a really good job using the length that he has to kind of push Yamada into a range where Yamada would have to overcommit there in order to continue passing. And so both guys, stand up. It's a better strategy there. Carter, again, over top with that choke. He does have to watch, though, for Yamada. When Yamada gets a hold of that arm, he will drop into that Seonagi, that shoulder throw attempt.
And Yuta comes back in. He gets one of his feet on the hips to control him and double arm control. He was going to try to throw him by.
Immediately for that swing single, Yuta kind of momentarily steps off the mat, gets back onto the mat so that he doesn't get stopped. So he gets the 2 points instead of just the ad.
He does a really good job at it was like a cartwheel pass across the guard once he lands his takedown.
Yeah, he's very, very comfortable there. You can see, just how drilled that whole sequence is on him, where as soon as he slides by, he immediately gets high enough and then starts to kind of shovel his hips over to the side so that he's already past once you hit the mat. Yuta going to knee on belly. And the referee is going to give him 2 points for that.
Carter's trying to crank on the shoulder on the one side. I don't know if that was just to get him off of his head or just to make some space.
It could be either. Both are going to be advantageous in that position, so you don't lose anything for either response as the bottom player. It's very advantageous to try that there.
I think it's interesting that Yuta actually stays up on his knees in this position because he does give him room to kind of regard.
I think as the smaller player, staying up on the knees there,
it is because
you're going to have better balance if a guy that's bigger really tries to buck you to the side.
And he can really also move his legs around and get to another position if needed.
Yeah, it allows him to be more dynamic in that spot. And potentially also, if there is a regard that happens, be in the guard just enough to then pass out to either the side control or to mount and continue to score.
And that time he passes to what looked like mount, but then he went to side control.
Yeah, kind of a monkey mount there. Yamada with a really heavy start to a step over choke. And he's going to go for a topside triangle with a combination
a reverse triangle.
With the arm. And he gets the tap. With 14 seconds left, Yamada up 8-0, still looking for the finish. Finishes with 14 seconds left and moves on to the semifinals of the Copa Virginia Cash Prize Absolute Bracket.